NFL playoffs. And this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. They'll start on the ground, Etienne. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be second down.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Watson. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Jordan Davis forced his way through, drops him for a loss of 10 yards. But just 2 plays in, and Charles already their first sack defensively.
Yeah, how about that? That didn't take long, did it? And now they look at 3rd down, and that's another time to try and go and get the quarterback too.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. Jack Fox out to punt here on 4th down. Just a 2-yard return there following a punt of 48. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. Jameis to throw it. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
I like what they did there because many of the deep throws we see in the course of a game come to the outside, the perimeter of the field. In this case, they used the slot receiver to run deep downfield and tried to connect that way. Unsuccessful in that attempt, but I like what they were doing.
5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Five men in the secondary now for the Falcons on 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Winston. Oh, he's got his tight end pitch complete. Touchdown, Philadelphia. They talked about stringing together some explosive plays here in the playoffs. That was a pretty explosive play.
It certainly was, and if you're going to win on the road, it certainly helps to have big playability in your hip pocket, doesn't it?
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball.
Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked up by Talanoa Hufanga. And the Eagles will take over here just shy of the 30. He exited the pocket trying to improvise. That was a tough throw, and unfortunately, it wound up in the wrong pair of hands.
And Brandon, when you're on the run, sometimes your downfield vision could get skewed just a bit. Now, the beauty of extending a play is sometimes your receivers find their way open, but oftentimes you end up closing down part of the field and bringing those defenders to the ball, and that one was picked off.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
Play action now, Winston. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Well, we saw plenty of that during his much-heralded college career. He parlayed that into becoming a first-round selection, and now here he is making interceptions in the National Football League.
And this is a guy that has all the physical tools, but the thing that sets him apart is what he's got between his ears. And that's the sixth sense for knowing where the football is going. Just an excellent play there to create the turnover.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Almost feels like anything you can do, we're going to try and match or do better. We've already seen one touchdown pass from the opposition. They tried to equal it on that throw.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Watson, it's caught, Lockett. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break.
And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. Garrett Wilson, an 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Falcons are an extra point away from evening this one up. Extra point by McPherson, up and good, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They had the interception last drive, led to the tying touchdown, so 7-7 the score as they begin 1st and 10. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Cameron Hayward in on the tackle. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game, that's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. In this case, he picks up a first down.
And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Opening carry of the game for Cordero Patterson. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Defense able to get there, swarm to the football. Zilch, 0, nada there for the offense, Charles.
Yeah, it really was an example of good team defense, wasn't it? Everyone handled their responsibilities, and they held them to no gain.
From the gun, they'll try to run it. And this won't be enough. Stopped a yard short after a gain of 3. 4th down.
This team doesn't mind running the ball in any situation, and I thought he was going to get the first down the way the play developed, but the defense closed in and stopped him just about a yard short.
So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Now Winston on 4th down. This one brought in by Aiken. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Big 4th down conversion for the score and the defense. That is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, okay, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Watson off play action. And this one's incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
And just 1 tick to go, so this will obviously be the final play of this first quarter. Now a timeout called for by the defense. So as they take it over, we step aside. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Caleb Farley. And the Eagles are going to get possession of the football as time will run out on this first quarter of play. Through 1 quarter, 14-7 our score.
Eagles 14, Falcons 7.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there. 2nd down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle, feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now, look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. On play action, Winston. He's got his pass-catching tight end, that's Pitts. And he is going to have an Eagles first down by a couple of yards as they're able to get 4 there on 3rd and 2.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. In for the sack, Deion Jones. CD, you know, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
And as we check the next-gen stats, that play lasted just 2.7 seconds from beginning to end. Just not enough time to throw the football. The Eagles on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. Here's Winston. And he fires one that's intercepted. And the Falcons are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. So consecutive interceptions here early on in this one, and maybe setting the tone, Charles, for a game where the defense really takes center stage.
And don't you think that both offenses are really catching a bit from their coaching staff about avoiding these turnovers that we've seen early? I think both teams are trying to find an advantage. We know that. Can one of them break away and take control of this game?
Room here to run. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout. And with that, they're now out of timeouts. There's still plenty of time remaining here in this second quarter. On first down, right back to Etienne. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a first.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
From the gun on 3rd, Watson. He hits his target, Lockett. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Give him 22 there on the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete.
The quarterback got away with one there. Looked like he was in line for a pick, but instead is knocked harmlessly to the turf.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And that is incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense, because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
And here now the punter, Fox, as he sends this one away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I was
going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
A first down throw for Winston. And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete.
So this is what happens when you throw interceptions. That confident veneer that you have gets chipped away a little bit. Maybe a little bit gun-shy throwing it around.
Yeah, underthrowing him there, and you're right. Those interceptions may be in the back of his mind. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now Winston. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And they will get him down, but not before he gets very good yardage there, as that will lead us right into the 2-minute warning.
And an Eagle first down.
Hands it off out of the gun. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. And it's 2nd down.
He was taken down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Winston now. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's 3rd down.
With all the success they've had throwing the football as a pass rusher, you know you've got to come hard when you see him drop back to throw. So I really like this call to counteract that pass rush with a screen. It turns into positive yardage. A lot of times the offense says, just replace the rusher with the ball, and it turns into a good play.
And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
And that's why you spend a first-round draft pick on a running back. Not for just the fancy runs, but these dirty, gritty 3rd and 1s, 3rd and 2s. That's why you draft him.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. 1st and 10, it's Patterson. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Now Justin Tucker's out to try the field goal. A 33-yarder from the left hash. Tucker's kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC divisional round matchup. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they've been the better of the two teams through 2 quarters of play, much to the chagrin of this home crowd.
Yeah, this score is a surprise to a lot of folks at home, although not to my dad. He predicted the visitors would win. And maybe to the folks in the stadium. But you know who is not a surprise to, partner? This team with the football. They were very confident coming in.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he's got room. And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield. 76 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Winston now from the 50. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this one is incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Throwing, Winston. Aiken able to bring it in. And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 38-yard line. Just his 2nd catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Now a 1st down run is going nowhere. He's going to be dropped in the backfield, a loss of 2.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it's just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But it looks like they're ready to go.
On 2nd and 12, Winston. That's going to be caught by Pitts. Touchdown, Philadelphia. 3 touchdown passes now in the ball game for Jameis Winston. And his guys now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. Tucker with the extra point, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17.
Falcons 7. Justin Tucker set to kick off.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line. So bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses him about 4 yards. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. And their halftime hold now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Now on 2nd and 13, Watson. And his throw here's incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Now it's Watson. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores. But, yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And, look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
Following the interception, Winston. Catch left side here by Aiken. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Eagles continue to pull the playoff surprise as they lead big here on the road. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And the lead is now 24.
Eagles 31, Falcons 7. Justin Tucker set to kick off.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. He will return this from deep in the end zone.
The Falcons take over first and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Watson. This complete to Lockett. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 22 yards there, a first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there, because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Watson's throw into the hands of Lockett. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game. You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
The Falcons send out their punter as he's on here to punt it away. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And they will get to this one and down it at the 13-yard line.
At their own 13-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They're obviously right now in the driver's seat, comfortably ahead. They've scored on a couple straight possessions, Charles. And, I mean, for them, I guess it's just more of the same, right? Keep doing what you've been doing.
Yeah, it's not typical for us to see games out of reach in the third quarter. Right now, they're unstoppable in this one. And seeing how they just came out onto the field,
It doesn't appear like they're done scoring points in this one. They look awfully confident.
2nd and 10 here as we sit in the 3rd quarter of this divisional round matchup. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25. 98 yards rushing for him now on 17 carries. He's turning in a pretty impressive performance running the football, and a big reason why they have this nice lead.
And in days gone by, we would clip this out and put it up on the refrigerator, wouldn't we? Clip out the box score. Nowadays, not too many newspapers out there. Maybe you screenshot it online.
On 1st and 10, Winston. And able to find Aiken, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's 2nd down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
At the 46-yard line.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it winds us down to the end of the 3rd quarter. 1 quarter remains for a trip to the NFC title game. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he is going to have an Eagles 1st down by about a yard as they're able to convert on 3rd and 2.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. First down, Winston. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. On 2nd down, they'll run it here. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. Working out of the gun, Winston. This one taken in by Olave. And he is going to have an Eagles 1st down by about a yard as they're able to convert on 3rd and 2.
They've been moving the ball well, but this drive is in danger of stalling out. Fortunately, this is a nice throw here, and they're able to pick up a new set of downs.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32. Good gain there on 1st down, and keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, Nice hole for him. Ends up picking up nice yardage. Stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here, stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
They'll go with a touch pass here, trying to pick it up. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. Well, they tried to catch him by surprise, I think, there with that little pop pass on 3rd down, but no luck.
You're right about no luck, but I did like the idea. I like the thought process. Make an unconventional call on 3rd down sometimes. It can pop big. In this case, it didn't.
Well, ultimately, not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Their hopes of advancing past this divisional round hanging by a thread, if that, as they begin here with a 1st and 10 on the wrong side of the scoreboard. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. Back to throw, Watson. He has a man. It's complete to Wilson. With this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a 1st down.
Well, we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants this lead to stay right where it is.
On 1st and 10, it's Etienne. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop it behind the line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense was pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game, and all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
Now this throw caught left side, and he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 24-yard line. A new set of downs after a strong pickup of 16 yards. On 1st and 10, Watson. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Carlton Davis picks it. And the Eagles are going to take over at their own 13-yard line. Facing this 4th quarter deficit, felt like they had to throw the ball, and on the other side, they were ready.
No doubt about it. They're playing situational football. They look at the clock, they know the lead that they have, and all they're doing is playing pass on every down.
Playing the pass, picking it off, and now big time in the driver's seat. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Brought down by Ed Oliver. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. 129 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. And quickly, we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively.
Ready. Come on. Run that. Let's go.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and to big yardage all night long.
They're looking to throw this. Winston. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
Falcons going to use their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And now a high kick here as he'll try to hang it up there. So that'll be marked down as a 19-yard punt. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. Very good starting field position for the Falcons offense as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Straight ahead, Etienne. Able to avoid him at the 40. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. They held him in check in the first half, but that's his longest carry of the game right there.
So would this be the definition of fresh legs since he didn't get much done in the first half? Now he has a great opportunity. He's taking full advantage of it.
Busting through contact. Just wasn't a huge hole there for him to operate. Stopped just inside the 35-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. And they'll go again with Etienne. And not much running room. Down to the 32. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And the Eagles are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years, but here we go. So they file for the exits here in silence. And what a job to come in on the road, divisional round of the playoffs, and you get to end it by going down to a knee.
Now their confidence has to be at an extreme high. That's 2 weeks in a row they've gone on the road and gotten it done. They don't care where they go. From here on out, they think they can beat anyone.
And they have secured a spot in the conference championship, and now you can start to smell it at this point in the season, can't you?
You really can, because the focus has been one game at a time, not looking ahead. But when you get to the conference championship game and you know you're there, the Super Bowl does loom in the future.